Hey everyone, here's my review for Frozen, the new movie from Adam Green, and this is also Gors Horror Movie Month number 4, and I'm going to get pretty much straight into the review, but before I do that, let me say this is going to be an unedited movie review, so if you want something very thought out and stuff, then don't come here. Just go watch a different review. But if you don't care and you just like watching people ramble on, then hey, watch the rest of the review. It worked pretty good for my last 3 Gore Horror Movie Months. I can't talk today. And yeah, so here we go. Let's get straight into the review of Frozen. Okay, now the movie starts off with 3 characters. Parker, who is the girl, Dan, who is the boyfriend of the girl, and Joe, who is the friend of the boyfriend of the girl. And, yeah, confusing, I know. They're friends, yeah. Whatever, there you go. And, pretty much they're at a ski resort, and they don't have enough money because they love skiing, I'm guessing. So yeah. And yeah, they don't have enough money, so what they do is they get the guy's girlfriend, Parker, to go and be a girl to this guy, and they get on. Hooray for cheap. That's great. And so then, they're just doing their thing for about 20 minutes of the film. They're skiing, they're having a good time, some some character development here and there. And then they go on the ski lift one last time, just, real quick. No one else is on it, real quick. And then something happens where they get stuck on the ski lift. And pretty much it's Sunday, and no one's going to be there for a whole week. So they're stuck on a ski lift, really high in the sky, and I don't even want to judge how far, but really high in the sky, and they have to wait a whole week, or a few days, until anybody's going to come back. So, yeah, it's going to suck for them, but that's pretty much the story of Frozen. Let me tell you if I actually liked the movie or not. Now, the story I did really like. I mean, it's a very unique story. I haven't seen many stories like this before. You might have saw stories similar to this, like something like Cube or even Devil that just recently came out, where a bunch of people are stuck in one place and they can't get out. Now, I'll just say it right here, I really enjoyed the story, and I said it before, and I always say, I'll just say it right here. I know some people are even telling me, you say that a lot, but really, I'll say it. I really like the story, and I actually really like this movie. Adam Green did a great job. I love Adam Green. He's a great director. He made Hatchet one of my favorites, one of my favorite horror movies to come out in the last few years. It's just a slasher movie. It's an 80s slasher movie. It's awesome. He also just made Hatchet 2, which I did not get to see yet, but I really want to. But this is no disappointment. This is a really good film. I was going into this expecting it was going to be bad. It's going to have a good premise, but really unlikable characters. But the acting was pretty good. The character development was pretty good. And you really felt for these characters when they were starting to freaking freeze and something happens to a couple of them. And you really feel for them, and there's only 3 of them, so he does a great job. He's usually the kind of guy like in Hatchet, and probably in Hatchet 2, where there's so much gore, and people are dying left and right. And this one, you only have 3 characters, so obviously you ain't gonna see, oh, this guy died, this guy died, this guy died, this girl died, this guy dies. It's only 3 people. And you have an hour and a half to, show death scenes, so he really does it really nicely. Like, he doesn't go, alright, first 10 minutes, death. Next 10 minutes, death. Next hour, cut this bitch's leg off or something. I don't know. cut the next one off later. That doesn't happen in the movie, by the way, but, maybe it does, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, what is she gonna cut off her freaking foot with? What, her skis? Oh, this ain't working, man. It's only cutting to the bone. This was a bad idea. It worked in Saw, but not with a fucking ski. Anyway, yeah, it's not working. So, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, I really like the film. I like the acting. The guys who play the guys and the girl, whatever, they're good. Shawn Ashmore plays the friend of the boyfriend of the girl, and he's really good. He's probably the best one in here. Because you feel him emotionally, because something happens later on in the film. I don't want to spoil it, but it's like maybe 30. It's even in the trailer, but I'm not going to spoil it anyway. But yeah, something happens and he's like all emotional later on. And the guy who plays the boyfriend's really good. A little bit whiny sometimes, but really good. And the girl, she was a little bit whiny, but she definitely grew as a character later on. And I really liked her character. The gore in the film, there's not that much, but when there is, oh my god, it's fantastic. Practical effects in this movie are awesome. You don't see that much. There's one character that you hear getting torn apart by something, and you don't see it, and it's really creepy. You don't see it. You just hear the other characters crying about it, and you don't hear it. I mean, you don't see it. You hear it, but you don't see it, and it's really effective. And I really like that. And but one other character gets torn apart, and then you do see it after the after effects, which I always really liked in horror films, where you don't see it happening, but you see the results, which is really cool. And it definitely sets a great amount of suspense in the film, and it's really just really suspenseful. It reminded me, like I said before, of Cube. Where Cube, if there's some rooms in Cube, if you ever saw it, it was like a movie about cubes. And if you go in a cube, there might be some sick, deathly trap in there that could kill you. And this, it felt like that, because there's some suspenseful moments like, oh, he could fall here, or, oh, he could be killed here or something, or she could fall, and oh my god, something happened. Oh. So it was really suspenseful, and you don't know what was going to happen. And really, I really liked this film. I thought it was a great horror film. Probably the best movie I reviewed this Gors Horror Movie Month so far. I really like Piranha 3D, don't get me wrong, but this is a really good film. I really recommend it. I'm going to give it an 8.3 out of 10. I definitely recommend it. Definitely really good. So let me just say that. So there you go. There's my fourth review of the horror season, whatever you want to call it. And yeah. There you go. Thank you, and see you on the next review, which will probably be tomorrow with My Soul to Take. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you and goodbye.